Questioning begins. On this video, I will let you in on my deconstruction process of my Christian faith. First of all, welcome into my channel. My name is Gareth Oxner, and I am a worship leader / former worship leader in a Baptist Christian church. And thank you so much for watching today. And I'm just in the process of kind of getting my... I've done a lot of videos in the past. So most of my videos have been kind of music videos where I would sing and play my guitar for you and entertain you with some music. And I still do that with my Heart and Soul channel. But this channel is all about my deconstruction and other things that's going on. It's kind of like a live video in real time of what's going on in the life of Gareth. So like I say, so right now I still identify as a Christian. So this is my second attempt at doing a video on my deconstruction. The first time I did it, I wasn't happy with it. I felt like I was reading it too much, and I felt like I didn't come across what I really wanted to. I felt like it didn't really reveal what I wanted to say. It didn't really have a topic that I wanted to cover very succinctly. So this is hopefully going to be a better video than my last video. And so like I said, today we're just going to talk about some of the questions that I've had and I still am having regarding the Christian faith. So I grew up in a Christian home. So basically right from the cradle, I've been indoctrinated on what it's like to be a Christian, all the Christian beliefs, and so on. Through different stages of my life, I did kind of what a Christian would call backslide or whatever, but I did certainly pull away from the faith. But it's really different this time around. It really is right now. I'm having difficulty in believing the Bible, and believing what I've been taught. So I'm kind of like to say I'm deconstructing on everything, and I have no idea where I'm going to end up, but that's where I'm at right now. So at some point in some video, I may talk about my background when you get to know me a little bit more and you actually care about me. But right now, you really don't. A lot of you probably don't know who I am. Oh, before I go on as well, so this is my first video of a new topic, and if you are currently a subscriber to my previous videos that I used to create, and you no longer want to subscribe, please unsubscribe. I would have done that, but I was not able to unsubscribe previous subscribers. So if you would like to unsubscribe, please do that now. And if you like what you're hearing, please stay subscribed or resubscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. So I was a Baptist church worship leader and a musician until about a month ago. I played guitar, did some singing, the occasional keyboard, and so on. And but I got to a point where I couldn't lie to myself, couldn't lie to others, and I really had to take a step back from what I believe in. So I contacted the worship leader, and I told her where I was at, and unfortunately, that I felt like I had to step back. And I'm going to just pop into the mic here so I get that nice warm sound. So like I said, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not sure what's happening, but I do know that I'm questioning a lot of what I was taught to believe. So I'm not into politics and so on, but I have to say that Trump had a big part in my deconstruction process. A lot of Christians who I admired for many years, Franklin Graham, and a lot of other Christians, a lot of Southern gospel musicians, they're big Trump fans, and they're big Christian national fans. And so I really had to take a look, because if they were so easily deceived, how are they not deceived about Christianity and so on? So I had to. That is certainly part of my story for sure. So in 2017, I met my now wife Sue, and we moved in shortly after meeting in 2017. And the church was kind of not big on that, but if Sue and I didn't move in together, like, we loved each other, but if Sue and I did not move in together, I would probably have been homeless, because I had some serious health issues and so on, and I was finding it more and more difficult to work. So Sue and I talked about it, and like I said, where we did love each other, we decided to move in. And that was about 2018 when we moved in. And at that time as well, I was part of a church that the minister, when we were friends dating back probably 10 years or 15 years or whatever, we were friends, and he was a good pastor. And then he went on what was called a sabbatical, so he took some time off. When he came back, he was a totally different pastor, and so I definitely moved to another church. And then at that church, one of the assistant minister, the volunteer actually assistant minister, during Bible study, he called me out for living with Sue. So at that time, I almost walked away from the church, but I had some good church friends, and I didn't walk out at that time, but I certainly came close to it for sure. Continuing with bad ministers, the church where I just came from and where my membership still is, I had a really bad experience with the last minister of that particular church. And I did not leave the church at that time. I stayed because I still really wasn't questioning my faith, but I went through an ordeal, as did many of the members of that church. But it was not a good experience. But out of that, within the last year or so, I was having issues with the church, and I was having issues. Did I believe what I was taught as a kid? I don't know, and I still don't know. I was having issues about singing about a wonderful cross. I mean, you might as well sing about a wonderful electric chair. That's where I was at. I just could not get into that. I had issues about singing about a wonderful Christianity that I had with Christ. I just did not feel that joy of the Lord like I used to, and it was a very tough time. And I even did a sermon where I actually played the video instead of talking about it myself. I played a sermon about a minister who was having some doubts, and he did a whole sermon about how he reconciled himself from those doubts, and I thought I got over it myself as well. I played that video, and I really believed that what I was believing was the truth, and that I was just having some doubts. But those doubts persisted, and here I am today. I am in the middle of what is called deconstructing, and I certainly am struggling with that. It's certainly a painful process to deconstruct, but that's where I'm at. Other issues. So currently, right now, I'm reading through the Old Testament, and again, Christians have a tendency to cherry pick and only read the verses that they like in the Bible. No matter who you are, you're going to often cherry pick the verses that make you feel all warm and fuzzy and so on. But I'm reading through the books of the Bible kind of without that Christian lens over it. And I'm having problems seeing a loving God in the Bible. Like, God created us. If God is truly omnipotent and omnipresent and all of that, when God created Adam and Eve, he would have known that they were going to fall into sin. So basically, he created men. If God is true, he created men and women to fail. and then oftentimes God would create a situation in which he would deliver the participants from that situation, and then he would take the credit. So there's that as well. So like I said, God has created men and women to fail sometimes. I feel that way, and that feeling has not gone away. I don't know how to resolve that, but I do know that that the God of the Old Testament certainly is not a loving God, and I can see that over and over again. The flood, where God killed all the animals and all the people, just because they were not worshiping Him. I just can't get past that. But like I say, I'm trying. But I'm reading a book right now called, and I forget the author, but it's called God After Deconstruction. I am finding that quite helpful. And it's talking about basically assuming that God is not omnipotent, is not omnipresent, and so on. And that kind of makes God a whole lot more loving, because if He doesn't control everything, then a lot of what we get ourselves into, it is our fault. But like I say, that's part of that. Like I say, in the Bible, God does seem to create a lot of situations, and then God is seen as a good and loving God for delivering people from those situations. Later on in my life, I did feel called to ministry, so I went to university. I did an undergrad in sociology, where research was, we were taught how to do research. Then following that, I went to Acadie Divinity College in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, and again, that was all about researching as well. But when we're research as a Christian, we use the Bible to back up itself. We use, that itself is problematic. We use Christian authors who are approved, and so on. And basically, we don't really use great scientific methods to back up Christianity, for sure. Josephus, it was a name that we often use to back up Christianity. But if you look at Britannica, Christianity, or Josephus, he was a typical ancient historian, where he would often make up things or exaggerate things. And so just because he backs up that Jesus existed, we don't know. We don't know if Jesus rose from the dead. We don't know any of that. So that is problematic, again, when we use Josephus to back up Christianity. Like I've stated, I still consider myself a Christian, and I am just evaluating on what I believe and why I believe it. And as I study and as I learn more about what I used to believe and what I now believe, what I can take away, and what I can discount, and what hopefully I'm going to be able to reconstruct and still be a Christian. But I have no idea if that's going to happen at that time. Thank you so much for certainly watching this video. I'm just kind of meandering myself around. I'm learning how to do a video and make it interesting and make it engaging. So I would appreciate your comments on that as well. Keep in mind that I will block people who are mean and insensitive. If you are that way, you can disagree with me, but just be respectful. A future idea that I have for a show coming up is my encounter with a former friend who is a Mormon. When I was telling him about my deconstruction and so on, and what I was going through, his reaction is anything but loving, anything but what a friend would do. So I may talk about that in a future video, but we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. So thank you so much for watching this video. please subscribe if it is something you like. And again, if you subscribed when I was doing other videos about technical issues or music or what have you, you're welcome to want to subscribe for sure. But again, like I say, I'm going through a bit of a deconstruction. It is a bit of a crisis for me. My family is all Christian. Most of my friends are Christian. All of my music that I do, well, not all of it, but most of my music is Christian. So it's a huge ordeal for me to deconstruct and to put some of that stuff in a corner and see what I believe now. But I'm certainly now dealing with a lot of things, and but I do appreciate you for watching this video, and please subscribe and like and ring the bell if you like as well. And I hope this video is helpful to you if you are in the process of deconstructing as well. And I just realized that my camera is on top of my monitor, so in order for me to look at it, I probably should lower my camera at some point. But hopefully it's going to look like I'm engaging and looking at you. But my camera is really far up. I might have to use my stool to look into the camera. We'll have to see. All right, thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you guys all real soon here on my channel. Have a good day, everyone. Bye for now.